Before we get into this video, I just want to go over some top comments from the last couple of videos. I appreciate every single one of you guys' comments, and it was pretty hard to pick out some awesome comments, and I hope you guys keep the positive energy down below in the comment description. PWNZU says, something smells fishy about this deck profile. Now, he's saying that in reference to my Mermail deck profile, so it was a pretty good pun. Yeah, I can't compare it to the pun king himself, but that doesn't mean I won't try. Anyway, good deck profile on old and gold Mermails, but I love to see your take on a competitive Monarch deck competitive Monarch deck. He also goes in to correct himself. He says, I take it back. I looked through your videos and found what I was looking for. You already made a video of it. Damn, you know what we want. Well, thank you so much for commenting on it. And yes, I try my best to get you guys as many deck profiles as possible. That Monarch deck profile that you're looking at is a little old, but still can be relevant to the 2017 November format, as with most of my videos. On to the next comment. Eon Finshan. Okay, I think I butchered that. He says, watching you try to pronounce German cards was fucking hilarious. Greetings from Germany. Well, I hope you had fun at me trying to enunciate your name, because again, if it's German, it ain't working for me. I just can't enunciate anything other than English. And even in English, I still have some hard time with that. The last comment we're going to talk about is D Craze. And he says, you're recording in the woods. It's so dark. You need better lighting, but nice duel. I actually do appreciate these type of comments. He didn't want to, he didn't say it as in a way that I took offense to it. But more importantly, he got to the point about one of the problems with my video, something that I've been trying to fix and something that I will continue to fix on. So D Craze, if you are seeing this video, I really appreciate your criticism, and it actually makes my channel better, and I want to know how you feel about this type of lighting that we're going to have inside of this video. Another thing that I want to talk about before we get into the video is our top subscribers. Now, these guys are all fucking awesome. They've even bought cards from me, sold cards from me, traded cards to me. But more importantly, I have a Patreon section, because my Patreon section is getting bigger. I love you guys. You guys are fucking awesome. Let's see if we can get some more people in there. I want to fill this thing up, so I'm going to have a hard time putting everybody's name in. But thank you guys so much. Let's get into the video. What's good with you, YouTube? You guys are now watching another segment of TheCaliEffect, King of Games, and today you guys are going to be seeing an epic match between Burning Abyss and Mermails. It feels like we're in 2015 already, as both decks are raring for a very competitive game inside of the 2017 November format. It looks like Burning Abyss has won the dice roll, so it's going to have the opportunity to go first, and already starting off strong with a Pot of Desires, banishing 10 cards from the deck to gain 2 additional cards. That could be one of the reasons why Burning Abyss is one of the more respected decks over all time. Its ability to adapt to almost any given circumstance, and abusing cards like Pot of Desires will give it an edge later on in the game by gaining an additional cards. Now, Dante is going to mill 3 cards, one of them being Graph. You guys have to forgive me, I apologize. I will fix that in the next video where you can see both graveyards. So Graph's effect is going to activate to special summon 1 Burning Abyss monster to the side of the field, possibly a Skarm, because on the end phase, Burning Abyss will be able to search Tour Guide, and then on the next turn, Skarm, when it's into the graveyard, will be able to search again, unless that they have some other type of power play. Being able to banish Dante is a pretty good strategy as well, but it would have to require Farfa being sent to the graveyard to get rid of the Dante. So looking at the options, I think Skarm might be one of the better options, and if you can combine that with Fire Lake and the Burning Abyss, you could already start out of the gate destroying your opponent. So Lipic is going to be summoned instead of my choices, possibly because Skarm could have been banished or drawn, but Dante and the Lipic is still a pretty good assessment of a great board. So on to the next thing. Is there possibly going to be some back row that Burning Abyss is going to back up its strong board with, and it's going to be 2 cards face down. So now Mermail is staring down a pretty good board. Farfa, oh no, it's going to be on top of that a Beatrice. So Lipic probably shouldn't have been summoned since Beatrice was made with the cards, or maybe it should have, because Lipic can still grant the special summon of a monster provided that there was a target initially in hand, but you guys should know how that works with cheating. So Beatrice with 2 back row, this could be really problematic for Mermail right out of the gate. Being able to send Farfa to the graveyard will stop the Mermail Abyss or I'm sorry, not Mermail Abyss, stop the Atlantean Prince Nephthybus from activating its effect. Also, being able, when it's destroyed, it allows to summon yet another monster that Mermail would have to deal with. Not really sure what those two back row are, but Raigeki is going to be activated on the Beatrice. Beatrice is going to go ahead and use its effect to send a monster from the deck to the graveyard, possibly a Skarn for a free search on the end phase, or probably Desires has decided to get rid of that, so it might be problematic, but nonetheless, he's going to be able to gain multiple effects with the send of Beatrice, as well as the destruction of Beatrice and Dante's effect. So thinking about what could be destroyed, he's just going to go ahead and thin his deck by sending enemy controller, which is a bad sign. It's possibly that Desires has taken a toll on the deck, but who cares? Dante Pilgrim is going to be summoned, and it's not really an easy card to get over. It's 2800 non-targetable body, could spell game. Now, Abyss Theus is going to activate, sending Abyss Nose to the graveyard and adding Abyss Oshia from the deck to the hand. So followed up with an Aqua Spirit, Mermails can end the board with Bahamut Shark and Mastar Boy, as well as a Totally Awesome, which could put this deck in play. So Mermail Abyss Oshia is going to be normal summon using its effect, targeting Abyss Theus, targeting Abyss Theus to special summon two monsters from the deck to the side of the field, a possible level 3 and a level 4. Seeing that Abyss Nose is in the graveyard, or not Abyss Nose, but I completely forget that card's name, Abyss Mander, we're going to go ahead and special summon Abyss Pike and Abyss Nary. So those cards are really good for being able to establish a great board. I assume that Abyss Pike and Abyss Nary are going to be used for Link Summon of the Mastar Boy if there is a Aqua Spirit inside of the hand, and that's going to contribute to a rank 4 play, or you can just go ahead and make Abyss Dweller. So both those monsters are going to be used, like I said, to make the Mastar Boy. That's going to grant Mermails an additional draw, but they have to pitch a card due to Abyss Nary's effect. If there was an Abyss Gun to pitch, it would have been awesome, but no, a second Abyss Nary is going to be pitched to the graveyard. So Abyss Nary is really good for being able to cycle through your deck, as well as pump up your monsters, and if it's used on a Mastar Boy, you get a free search as well. So Mulling Glacier is going to be summoned. That's a pretty risky card, but it's met with a Solemn Strike. Now, Mulling Glacier probably would have came out on top. Looking at Burning Abyss's hand, it would have probably hit a Tour Guide. It's a pretty good chance, and then if it hit a spell card, it would have been nasty, but Mulling Glacier got Solemn Strike, which is pretty nasty. Mander is going to banish itself to make Mermail Abyss Oshia level 4, as well as the Aqua Spirit itself as level 4. It's going to make the Bahamut Shark. Now, that's a pretty good move. Attacking into the Dante Pilgrim was a very smart move, but not before Dante uses the effect to discard to draw. Main phase 2, Bahamut Shark is going to use his effect to special summon Totally Awesome to the side of the field. So now a Totally Awesome Bahamut Shark Mastar Boy play is looking really nice for Mermail. It's going to be pretty easy or interesting to see how Burning Abyss can respond with this. Quite a few cards in Burning Abyss hand. Tour Guide of the Underworld is going to be summoned, and that's probably, no, it's going to be Ash Blossom. Just before you thought it was going to be hit with the Totally Awesome, the Ash Blossom is going to meet. Enemy Controller is going to be used on the Tour Guide of the Underworld to target the Bahamut Shark, and that's pretty nasty because it forces the Totally Awesome to use the effect to negate the Enemy Controller, but Enemy Controller is set on Mermail's side of the field, so it could be used for some sort of defense or even taking control of one of the opponent's monsters. So with that, Totally Awesome is going to add a water monster. This is going to be Abyss Theus, and then Dark Hole is going to destroy Mastar Boy to add another water monster. So talk about some really good recursion on the Mermail's board. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of great cards to recurse, or cards that can instantly make a great board. Unfortunately, Atlantean Prince wasn't drawn, so that's out of the question, nor was Dragoon. So none of the real power cards for Mermail have been drawn, which means that if they do decide to see one and Burning Abyss doesn't have the apt back row, then it probably could be game. Mermail's is a very good deck at hitting for high amounts of damage, and if you guys would like to see the Mermail deck profile, then all you have to do is click on this annotation right there. It'll take you to the Mermail deck profile. If you guys want to see the Burning Abyss deck profile, then let's get this video to 1,000, no, not 1,000, I apologize, 100 likes. Now, if you guys could get me to 1,000, that'd be awesome. So Abyss Theus is going to be activated and met with a Solemn Strike, preventing the negation and the summon. That is a really nasty 1,200 damage through the Alec, and then a passage return for Mermails, and now an Exceed summon with the top deck Farfa to send Dante to the, or to make Dante to send Fiendish Royal Rhino to the graveyard. This is not looking nice at all for Mermail, but still, just 1 or 2 cards could bring Mermail back inside of this game. So Pilgrim looks like it's going to be banished. It looks like a Barbar was activated, you know, when Dante sent to the graveyard. Keep in mind, it does have a Farfa under it too. So while he might not be able to make another Beatrice, seeing that Beatrice is limited to one, getting rid of the Dante will have some consequences because it'll be able to banish monsters on the side of the field. Burning Abyss is really good at disrupting plays, and Mermails need their monsters on the field to make their huge boards. Burning Abyss is really good at stopping that. So Dante under a Farfa, 3 cards in graveyard, 1 card face down. Can Mermail make some type of comeback? That's going to be 2,500 damage. And the best thing about Dante is that after it attacks, it switches to defense. Looking at what Mermails can do, they do have enemy controller to probably buy him another turn. Swap Frog is going to be summoned. It's going to be met with a Solemn Strike, and that, it looks like it's going to be it. We're going to have to get right into game 2 with you guys. That was a really exciting game. Burning Abyss completely controlled the game, even though Mermail was able to set a board with Bahamut Shark, Miss Starboy, and Totally Awesome. So starting off, Mermail Abyss Megalo is going to be summoned by discarding Atlantean Dragoons and Atlantean Marksman. It's going to be met with a Ghost Ogre, which Dragoons is going to add Dragoon, strangely enough. And an Abyss Sphere is going to be added as well. So we're going to see exactly what Mermails are going to do now that they've lost their Megalo to a Ghost Ogre. Like, again, this deck is extraordinarily good at disrupting boards. So Atlantean Dragoons is going to be summoned with a Soul Charge. Now that is pretty nasty, seeing that 3 monsters are going to be summoned to the side of the field. Megalo, 2 Dragoons, and a Marksman. Megalo and Marksman are going to be used to make Mastar Boy. Both the Dragoons are going to be used to make the Bahamut Shark. And now we're dealing with a Mastar Boy Bahamut Shark thing. Now the Dragoons is met with an Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, so that's not really nice. And then a Foolish Burial is going to be activated. I believe it's going to be let through. And Foolish Burial is probably going to send the Farfa to see if you can continuously try to bait the Totally Awesome, or is the Totally Awesome even going to use his effect to the Farfa, because that's just a free card for Burning Abyss. So no, it's actually going to allow it to be through. Totally Awesome is going to be banished through the effect of Farfa, but now Burning Abyss still has to deal with Mastar Boy, Bahamut Shark, and an Abyss Sphere. And if there is an Atlantean Infantry in the hand, then that's a free destruction. Maxi chained to the Skarm. Oh man, that's nasty. And then Skarm is going to be special summoned, giving a draw, and XC Summon is going to give another draw, and this is not looking nice for Burning Abyss. Already 2 draws. If they decide to make Beatrice, it's going to be 3 draws. No. Oh man, Seer's gonna special summon Farfa to the side of the field. That is a 3rd draw, and it looks like that's gonna be it after clearing the board of Mermails. Now, Mastar Boy was sent to the graveyard. That's going to add Dragoons back to the hand, and this might not look really nice for Burning Abyss. Dante is going to be sent to the fence, and Totally Awesome is going to return itself to the side of the field. So this is a pretty good game right now. Mermails just might take it back out of out-resourcing Burning Abyss with the field presence. So Bahamut Shark can still activate its effect. There is a free space in the monster zone, so Totally Awesome can be summoned to the main, or to the extra monster zone right now. That's actually going to be met with a Solemn Strike, which gives you know, the Mermail strategy an opening to possibly even go for game. We know that at least 1 copy of Dragoons has been added from the deck to the hand. We know that Totally Awesome is on the board, so with some really nice cards, it looks like Mermail could win this game right here and right now. This is what happens when you give the deck its resources, or when it has too many cards in its hand. It's going to completely explode on the board. There's no hand traps, there's nothing. This deck just seems out advantage. Now, the biggest thing is, now that we know that Megalo was added to the hand, it looks like Dante is going to hit the graveyard. Now, how can you play around Farfa as a Mermail player, being able to banish a monster for a turn? So I apologize, of course the camera decided to go dead, but 1-for-1 is going to be activating, discarding Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. So that is a clear indication that no, there is not going to be a next turn. Prince is going to activate his effect to send infantry. I believe, if I counted, 2 Dragoons were sent to the graveyard, and infantry is going to destroy, and it looks like Burning Abyss are just going to go to game 3. Oh my god, look at that hand. It was too gorgeous. There was no way that Burning Abyss would have survived that turn. Even with the Farfa, I'm pretty sure that the Totally Awesome would have negated, added another water card, double Megalo would have been added, and then it just would have just splurged. So Pot of Desires is going to open up for Burning Abyss, banishing 10 cards to draw 2 cards. Hopefully the banished cards weren't Seer, because that's probably one of the only cards that you don't want banished inside of the Burning Abyss strategy. So looking at what Burning Abyss can do, they go first, so it'll be interesting to see how they respond. special summon Scarm, and no, Ash Blossom cannot be normal summoned because Burning Abyss still retains its effect that if a non-Burning Abyss monster is on the field, then it will be destroyed. So Scarm is just going to be left in attack. And 3 back row is going to be sent face down. Now, Swamp Frog is going to make its appearance by sending Ronnie Boy from the deck to the graveyard. Does, you know, Burning Abyss have a response to the Swamp Frog? No, it's going to be met with a Solemn Strike, which is really terrible. If Swamp Frog wasn't met with any type of response, then we can already assume that Totally Awesome would be summoned, which would give Burning Abyss fits. So Teus is now going to be special summoned by sending Abyss Neri to the graveyard, and it looks like Maxi is going to be chained to Abyss Neri. So if maybe Mermail might want to slow their tracks and stop right here, right now, because that's not really much to be doing since Maxi was used. Teus has never really had the chance to resolve, seeing that Maxi was activated from a hand and a card was drawn. So Teus could be placed in defense, seeing that it activates in a hand of special summon, and in order for Burning Abyss to gain that additional draw, they would have had to have activated on the Abyss. Not saying that that didn't happen, but just clarifying that up to why you guys are probably thinking, why did Abyss be switched to defense after it was clearly attack position? Just trying to figure that out. Definitely thinking how this is, and Mermail is a really good deck, I'm telling you guys, but with under Maxi, it will have some problems. So it looks like Osha is going to be added from the Abyss. Will Mermail decide to continue to go off even under Maxi, or will they just end their turn and give it back to Burning Abyss? Burning Abyss is a really good deck. It's a master of disruption and destruction, just completely running your opponent out of the game. So it looks like enemy controller is going to be used on the Scarm to snatch the Abyssius, which is going to get the tour guide. Not sure if that was during the end of the turn, but regardless, Scarm is off the field, or it had to be during the end phase of the turn because Scarm got its effect. It looks like Scarm is on the field, or I'm sorry, Tour Guide is to the hand now, and that can play some pretty serious implications. Mermail has a pretty naked board. Not really much that Mermails can do right now. Dante's probably going to get over the Mermail Abyssius, and he's going to use both monsters, Fiendish Rider Warder, and actually Fiendish Rider Warder can't be summoned with Tour Guide. I don't think so, but maybe it can. Then 3 cards are going to be sent to the graveyard, one of them being Farfa. And Farfa looks like it might just destroy or banish the TS. It could banish to Dante and then put Dante back into the main monster zone, freeing up the extra monster zone. I think that's also a great strategy, but thinking about what it is, he's going to go ahead and banish the Abyssius and inflict 2,500 of damage. Burning Abyss must have sheer confidence in that back row, because leaving Mermails with monsters on the board, especially knowing that Abyss Osha is in the hand, there just might be some type of trap or something face down, so that maybe they're not even worried about Abyssius. So it looks like Fiendish Rider Warner might have sent Scarm. Again, I apologize for you guys not being able to see the graveyard. It is a Scarm. We'll be able to fix that later on, which will gain the deck some searching. So when Burning Abyss starts to get rolling, it's really hard to stop. It looks like Beatrice is going to be summoned, and Graph is going to trigger his effect. Scarm was already sent to the graveyard, so I'm not 100% sure what could be special summoned to the side of the field that would gain Burning Abyss some advantage, possibly a Libic to gain a negated effect of a Burning Abyss. It looks like no, he's not going to use Graph's effect, but he is going to swing for 2,500 damage with Beatrice, a very problematic card for Mermails. So on to the next turn, Mermails gets Abyssius back. And thinking about what Mermails can do, oh no, the Kaiju Gamseel! Because Beatrice was such a problematic card to the deck. You know, being able to send Farfa to prevent the Prince from activating his effect, and that's actually really crazy because we have not seen a Prince throughout the duration of the game unless it was the end of the game. So Osha is going to normal summon itself and then activate its effect, I would assume, which is going to be met with an Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Oh man, it looks like this is not Mermail's best day. Having all of their effects negated, strikes somehow, some way. Looks like there is a Link summon with the Osha. Nope, it doesn't look like that's gonna happen. It looks like they're just gonna keep the Osha and the Teus on the board. So back to Burning Abyss, they have quite a bit of advantage. The problem is Kaiju Gamseel is a wrinkle to the strategy. It's a you know, non-Burning Abyss monster, So any Burning Abyss monster summoned will immediately be destroyed. So Kaiju Gamma was kind of like a wrinkle to the Burning Abyss strategy. It's not going to be really good for them. 6,500 is that Burning Abyss is down to. It looks like Mermail's just going to draw and pass their turn, just trying to buy time for the Kaiju, or for the Kaiju, because of the Kaiju preventing the preventing Burning Abyss from summoning monsters. So this is an interesting conundrum that Burning Abyss is in. It looks like they're just gonna activate the second copy of Pot of Desires, and that is risky. Like, and I mean ultimate risky. 2 cards are going to be drawn off of that. Activating 2 desires in one game is the ultimate risk, because you just banished 20 cards from your deck, and hopefully they weren't anything drastically important. So looks like he drew something with Phoenix Royal Rhino being able to summon. That means it's pretty decent right now. Phoenix Royal Rhino, if another Burning Abyss monster is summoned, now the Burning Abyss monster won't be destroyed. But it looks like that's about it. It's nothing else that Burning Abyss can do. So Abyss Deus has a very, very nice defense, and it looks like it's going to be Abyss Pike that's going to be normal summoned, and it's going to be Solemn Warning. What the hell is going on with all of these negates? Looks like that Burning Abyss really wanted that Phoenix Rhino Warrior to stay on the field. It's not looking good for Mermail at all, and it looks like, it very much does look like that Burning Abyss does have 1 card left in the deck. That is freaking crazy. Pot of Desires put 1 card left in the deck. There are no cards left in Burning Abyss. Could this be the very first time that a deck is won by deck out on the TheCaliEffect channel? We will find out. Now it looks like the Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring is going to be normal summon, or possibly even a Burning Abyss monster. No, Ash Blossom is going to be normal summon to the side of the field, and then those 2 monsters are possibly going to be used for a summon. Again, Burning Abyss needs to win right now. Mermail only has 4,400 life points. If Burning Abyss cannot win right now, then all Mermail have to do is pass their turn, and Burning Abyss is unable to draw, making Mermail the winner. Again, if you guys would like to see this Burning Abyss deck profile, we've actually changed it up just a little bit. It's a lot stronger than you guys seeing before, and it's pretty impressive right now. Then let's get this video to 100 likes. Also, if you guys want to support the best, we'll talk about that a little later. So he's actually going to use this effect to shuffle the monster to a side of the field, but it doesn't look like enough damage quite right now. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. The Living was sent to the graveyard to special summon the Alec, but more importantly, he has to attack over the Ronnie Boy, and just trying to figure it out. Even if he did have enough attack, he's going to go ahead and declare the attack, and Abyss Neri is going to save Mermail's hide by discarding another water monster or destroying another water monster. Ronnie Boy is too strong for Burning Abyss to get over. Thank you guys so much for watching another segment of the TheCaliEffect. I really hope you guys enjoyed this live duel commentary. If you guys would like to support your favorite Yu-Gi YouTuber, there's some awesome rewards on there. I'm only asking for $1, bro. At least $1. Just let me hold $1, all right? Please go to Patreon and support your boy. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy.